Brian McGivern, and Pam Bratton is on deck.
Hi, my name is Brian McGivern. I'm here to speak in favor of the ordinance. First, I live in District 1, so I want to take a moment to thank Councilmember Houston for the support you've shown so far in this process. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to read an excerpt for you from a letter from a chamber saying, regarding civil rights provision, the problem involves so many considerations that any bill comprehensive enough to cover them all would in all probability do more harm than good. The better approach to the problem is a combination of voluntary efforts and increased education to ensure a better understanding of the need. Now, that sentiment may be one that sounds familiar to you. It's certainly one that I've heard at points in this process. But this is actually a letter from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce dated 1963 with regard to provisions of a bill that ultimately became Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. So it sounds familiar because the game plan for gutting civil rights legislation really hasn't changed that much in the last 50 years. Now, I know many of y'all are probably feeling pressure to change this ordinance to make it less effective. And when you're considering that pressure, I would hope you would take a moment to ask yourself, in running for this office, did I put in this many hours and this much money and this much energy and everything else that I had to do to be where I am today, just so that when I'm presented with a civil rights ordinance, I'm going to back off because of the same tired arguments that have been used for the last 50 years to get civil rights legislation? Or am I going to use my position to do something that I'd be proud to read about in history books? That's all.
Thank you. After Pam Bratton, the next speaker will be Candace